Okay, so let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart and the Mara stock chart because things are looking pretty good when it comes to us potentially getting bullish confirmation within Bitcoin. And then I will explain how that could potentially translate over into Mara stock. So remember, everything I say in this video, guys, is just what I'm personally doing. I like to share with you guys. I'm not telling anyone to buy or sell or to copy what I'm doing. Instead, you should always do your own due diligence and take a look at your own risk management as well. But to get started, you guys know for a bit now, I've been accumulating a BitU position because for a while, ever since we broke into this green area, we were still trading within it. And I said, well, we've seen these kinds of setups happen often in the past when it comes to us going up into a new high and trying to confirm a bigger picture uptrend where we break into an extension area. In this case, the extension starts at 114.5K, the green one. We broke into it. We were failing, we were struggling to reach the next target line, which is fine. We've seen this happen enough where we have some short term extensions to show how far the price could potentially go. In this case, it worked very well. We started seeing volume weaken. We saw the bulls kind of start to step back a little bit, let Bitcoin have a retracement. Then we've been keeping a track of the price going lower. And I kept saying, well, we tend to see the price break below the first line of an extension bullish area and it breaks below it and it allows the price to build up bullish momentum once again to retest it. And usually when we see a retest of extensions, especially when it's bigger picture like this, we tend to see the next test work its way up to the next line, which in this case is the 1.236 extension at 128K. So I've been accumulating BitU early. I'm going to show you guys the position again soon. Later this week, I may add some more, or it just depends what Bitcoin does. If we have a test of the red area, which I'm going to explain what I'm looking for in the short term, I'll show you guys what I mean. But as we're starting to move up higher, we came down into support. It was just an overall retracement from the previous deep value or the short term deep value, I should say. We started moving up higher. We came down into the retracement from that deep value all the way up to all time high. We found support in it. I gave you guys an extension area with the first sort of stages of this downtrend to show how far down the price can potentially go. It held very nicely. Unfortunately, we didn't get the 0.5 break, but that's okay. We still held support. And then we started going up higher. Now, I kept saying that it doesn't matter how high we go. If we start seeing some weakness within the blue retracement, which is simple all-time high all the way down to this swing low right here, we can potentially start to see some weakness in the price. And at least all that means is it's nothing bearish. It just means the price can potentially get ready to, and I'm going to update this because the price went up higher. It did break over 119K, and I kept saying if we break over 119K, then I'm going to start leaning towards that the low is in. We broke it. We're failing to hold above it. As you can see, the price is starting to weaken. The RSI was pretty much maxed out. So, it's just flowing. It's unfolding. How expectations are, right? Where we come into a retracement area. In this case, it's a resistance, and we start to see the price weaken and come down to have another retracement. In this case, the retracement is simple. It's from the swing low or the primary swing low where the price ended up having a bullish structure form. And also, if you guys take a look at the at a simple resistance or ascending resistance, like it's been holding pretty well, and the next stop is support, right? So if we have this channel, right, that we're keeping an eye on, well, we're obviously in the premium section of this channel, which is also the resistance area. I also gave you guys early, just an overlapping area early on with this move right here to see how high the price can go. It maxed it out perfectly. And now we're starting to see the price weaken out, and it's time for it to come back down into support. In this case, again, for us to hold this bullish momentum, we want to find support within the overall retracement. It's as simple as that. That's what I'm personally looking for. as long, the price can easily come down into this ascending support line, which overlaps very well with the support area, and it allows the price to come down, flirt with the 120 moving average. You guys like, if you guys been watching for all, I really like to see Bitcoin dance around the 120 moving average as it trends wherever the bigger picture is. In this case, it's up because we have that bull market, right? So that BitU position, it's well accumulated. I would like to add more, but I want to see if we can hold a bullish confirmation, which is simple. We hold support nothing below 114.5k. If we break below 114.5k, then the idea is we're just gonna have another retest of the red support area, which in my opinion is like a no-brainer accumulation area. It's just my own personal opinion. I really like how Bitcoin looks below 120k. So if we can break below 114.5, and if we have a chance to accumulate once again between 110k and 114.5k, like, I'm gonna accumulate. It's just a good deal in my opinion. But as of right now, again, before we jump into tomorrow's stock, we're at resistance. It's likely it can easily keep popping, and if it does, I'll use because we have, like, if you guys like Elliott waves, there's a pretty much completed 5-wave structure here. Although it doesn't really mean too much. Again, there's a lot of craziness happening in the macro, like headlines and macro environment. So it's just a lot of this is influenced by external factors. So, like, I'm just trying to use value levels to know when to accumulate, when to sell. As of right now, we're in resistance. We can easily come down into support. It's more probable than not. Regardless, the price can go up higher, but it's more likely, in my opinion, that we can come down into support and see if we can hold it. So around 115.5k is what I'm looking at. Micro supports are being broken. We can easily see bearish volume pick up. If the RSI maxes out to the bottom side before hitting 115.5, then maybe like 116 might be the way to go. But I wouldn't be surprised if we touch the ascending support line I have right here. So regardless, I want to see now, because we broke 119k briefly, I just want to see the price come down, hold support, and then make a new high from this swing high. And then we should start seeing, in my opinion, some pretty good bullish momentum building up. And, well, at that point, we have a really good chance of reaching 128k, more likely than us going down into the red accumulation area once again. But this is why I like to accumulate BitU early. A lot of these really good buying opportunities were during closed market hours. So I'd rather be early, let the price find support, and then from there, we're up going higher. So as of right now, this is the area I'm looking at for another breakout to the upside. If this fails, then we just have another like attractive accumulation opportunity down here. And then from there we go up higher. But as of right now, things are looking pretty good. Again, to hold bullish momentum sooner rather than later, I really don't want to see the price break below 114.5k for that, right? So now with Mara stock, and my opinion hasn't really changed. The only difference is that, Bitcoin is pumping in a lot of other stuff. The US futures market is not open yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it opens in the green. There's just a lot of macro external stuff influencing the price, potential rate cuts happening because of the really bad jobs report. There's a lot of pressure on the Fed, and there's just a whole lot of crazy headlines going on. I'm not going to get into it too much right now. I've talked about it enough in the past. But regardless, Bitcoin is coming up from support. It is starting to trend higher. And once we start seeing bullish confirmation in Bitcoin, and that starts to create a lot of FOMO potentially, and growth assets could also rise as well due to hype and anticipation for the Fed to do what a lot of people want them to do. But regardless, with that being said, like, Mara stock is still holding this. It's a very similar like uptrend pattern, but this one's in the bigger picture. There's a lot of um, cash flow factors that affect Mara stock that don't affect Bitcoin. So that's why it doesn't trade exactly the same. But regardless, a lot of these higher prices in Bitcoin will reflect in Mara's monthly and quarterly reports. So if there is anticipation for that, it can factor into the price. But regardless, we've been keeping track of really good buying opportunities with a sell and a second sell opportunity right here. So looking really good as of right now. Everything seems very similar to these previous times when it comes to macro like characteristics and just what's going on and what's influencing a lot of these assets. Just in my own opinion, I'm not gonna get into it again. I talked about it plenty, but I'll talk about it in the future again. But regardless, it hit our take profit area, maxed it out perfectly. It had a little bit more fluctuations for anyone that um gets a little too greedy. Still, like it started showing signs of like the price wanting to weaken and retrace. Eventually, it did. So now what we're looking for is something similar to Bitcoin, although Bitcoin's ahead of the game right now. Mara is in my accumulation area. Like I've said this before. I believe Mara stock below $20 is a good deal for the rest of this bull market. I wouldn't be overly optimistic if you guys look at the bigger picture on Mara, like the yearly candles. You'll see every bull market cycle top is lower than the previous. Again, this has to do with a lot of stuff I explained in the past. So I wouldn't be too greedy about it. If there's a delay and like Bitcoin's just making new highs and there's like a delay factor within Mara, like I wouldn't be overly optimistic that we can hit 30 and go over. It's very much possible, but as of right now, with what I have in front of me, like I'm not trying to be like overly optimistic when it comes to my expectations. So as of right now, I believe Mara still has another really really good pump. Um, we're in accumulation. It's as simple as that. Like this is really good deal in my opinion. Anything if it breaks below this, it'll probably recover super quick. But that's just if, right? That's an what if scenario. But what we have, just like here and here and here, we have an opportunity to accumulate within an overall retracement, short-term attractive prices, with the idea that Mara will soon enough either like climb super fast and just go straight to our, or at least my take profit area estimates being up here, between $20 and $25. Ideally, you know, 20 to 23 will be safe. I'm just gonna use the 1.236 extension. It's probably a good idea to, like, in my opinion, a lot of people that are buying and looking to sell within above $20, like 2150 to 22, or 2150 to 2250, I should say. That's what I've been saying in previous videos. It's more conservative, it's more realistic, it's less optimistic and more realistic. There's no reason to um fight uh premium prices for a company that is aggressively trying to grow, and shareholders are not priority in the sense of them, they really want to focus on their hash rate and their overall, you know, structure as a company to make sure they're, well set off for future halving events. But yeah, the idea is that we're in a good accumulation area right now within the red. The overall take profit area is up here within this area, but we can either see the price go straight up there, but since we do have a really nice value gap and we have a simple retracement here, I wouldn't be surprised if like the price struggles to hold above 19, at least in the short term, where like it struggles to like really break above this area and it maybe fluctuates for a little bit before it pops. There's also the possibility of, and this is all just noise. That's why I focus so much on, let's just say the price goes up to 1881, right? For example, it's simple. Like it can fluctuate within this area before going higher, or it can simply just do one of these, find resistance, come down into a simple retracement support. It would also allow for a second opportunity for red accumulation before it pops higher, and it'll probably look something like this, where it has that second test, right? So yeah, hopefully this video made sense, guys. I'm looking for overall higher prices in Mara. It can take a while. Like we have to see what future economic reports look like and what the expectations are for the Fed rate cuts, and then rather or not investors are going to factor in um, what's most realistic or not. We just have to see, right? There's future economic reports we really got to wait on. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I believe Mara currently is, but it's just my opinion, I believe it's a good deal. It doesn't have to go up, but I believe overall it's set up well for to go higher. And if you guys are too, like, if anyone thinks that's too high, well, there's nothing wrong with if you guys are more bearish in this stock for the rest of this year. Like, you can't really deny like higher probability of the price using this short-term resistance, breaking the support and going down lower and making a bigger one more low scenario, where at that point, like, well, Mara will has the opportunity to potentially come down below $10. And if that happens, if a lot of the overall bears are correct in Mara stock, well, below 10, this stock below $10 is beautiful in my opinion. But that's just that's just in my opinions, and I'm not being like biased towards the stock or anything. I believe an overall one more high from this structure that we have this year is more realistic than us making a massive move down. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.